Just fucking do it. Subscribe now. Other than, I don't wear a suit every day like I used to. I wear Bermuda shorts or those baggy trunks that the rappers wear, that are down to here, and a T-shirt. That's what I wear most of the time in my office. And when I get dressed up like this, the dogs look at me. What's wrong? They give me a sniff. And Winston this morning was trying to put his big fat head underneath my cuff of my pants. What's wrong, boss? I mean, because normally skin's there. But it's a hoot. Questions about Thomas. But the point I was trying to make, even the best guys make mistakes. Thomas, if he were here, he would admit, I made some errors. Because the challenge is then you start to believe your own bullshit. And I've gone through stages in my life where I believed that I could walk on water. I can make you like God did, but I can't walk on water yet. Yeah.
Why did you went for the chairman?
Where did I?
Why did you went for?
No. After he was here a year, and he came to the hardcore, and he was full of himself as he should have been. He was the head of the pack, but he came in second in getting a deal done to the old man, 65-year-old who did it in 73 years. And that, I don't know if that woke him up or. And I said, "You're doing well, but you can do a lot better." He was stunned because normally he says, "You're doing terrific." Rarely when you're on the top of the heap of shit will anybody say you can do better, because they're looking up at you. But I'm not looking. I'm looking down at him, and I said, "You can do lots better." And so he offered me the position, and I thought about it about a couple minutes, and I accepted. Gave him a couple of terms which are not material to this conversation, and we've done significantly better. But it's tough, even when you're a sharp sales executive like Thomas is. It's tough when you look 15 and you're 35 to hold people accountable. Not accountable like you. I mean, really accountable. It's not easy. Even when I was young, I could hold people accountable. I attribute that to my military officer training, etc. But because virtually as a young lieutenant, virtually all the guys are older than you. But I mean, I'm not focused on the $1 trillion kind of, that's all bullshit. That's pie. It's not pie in the sky. But I want something that's going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years. That's a 25-year project he's involved in. I'm going to be alive 25 years from now, but I'm not going to be talking to you fuckheads. For sure. At 100, I may kick back a little. 25 years, actually 101 then. I may kick back a little. You had a question? Yes, ma'am.
When you bring in a new chair, like he did, do you need to ask the other board members anything? Does it need to be voted?
Well, I mean, you're going to have at least 60% of the company. You will informally, as a polite gesture, but you can do what the fuck you want when you have 60% of the company.
And another question, not only just about Thomas, but do you, in any stage of the process, tell anybody about QLA or explain the process to anyone? Anyone meaning who? Like the chair or... No, everybody on the board understands the process. Okay. Well, I was going to talk about the last, I'll talk about it now. There's 2 ways to manage a board. Remember, the board's there to govern, you're there to lead. At the end of the day, you will listen to all the input they have of the 300 years experience, fine. But it's up to you to make a decision. 9 times out of 10, you're going to go with the board's recommendation. But sometimes they're not. Because all the board, depending on their age, will be looking at this jackpot differently. But you'll take all their advice in, and then you, the individual, will make a decision. And normally, because of your age, you'll ask your chairman what his or her thoughts are. Doesn't mean you're going to agree with them, but, because they'll supposedly and hopefully will have the sage experience to give you the right answer. And almost always they will give you the right answer. Almost always. Because your desires and wants and expectations should be in line with the chairman's, except his will be short-term to intermediate term because he's not going to be there for 80 years, and yours will be long-term. So your decision-making process will differ because you've got a different time horizon. So 9 times out of 10, you'll agree with them. But 1 time out of 10, or maybe a little more than that, or a little less than that, you're not going to agree. You're not going to agree. And I'm not in line with the $1 trillion economy horizon. That's great. You can, somebody can read that at my eulogy. Fine, But it's an exciting project, and it's not exciting. That's not the right word. It's more interesting for me to be on a board, and right now I'm reducing boards. I've reduced my boards about 50% in the last couple of years. That is a firecracker that gets shit done. And I know what a firecracker looks like because I used to be one, and I'm still more of a firecracker than 98% of the people that come through the seminar, and that shouldn't be. But I still have that teaching qualities and mentor qualities, blah blah blah, and that's why people come still at my age. But in the 90s, half the kids in the room had the same firecracker that I was. Half the kids in the room. They were hungry. See, I mean, very few in this room really, they come into this room really are hungry. And they're always hungry for some kind of different reason. Prove this to this person. Prove to IBM you got fired, or Steve Jobs fired. I'll prove them, sometimes proving to your father that you're not a worthless piece of shit, even though you're a 4-time loser from San Quentin prison. But so, you're motivated. But very seldom, even though you may be motivated, you have that fire in your belly, as they say. I've still got it at 76, which is rare. I worry about you not being successful, not just because of the numbers you're going to put on the wall. I worry about it more than you do. And that's not right. World-class coaches worry more about the kids that they coach than they do. Otherwise, you can't do it 20, 30, 40 years like a lot of the world-class coaches do. Like the tennis guy. He's got his own selfish reasons, but he's got 100, now he's up to 193 from 186 when that thing was filmed. 193 world champions. He wants to hit 200 before he croaks. I'm sure he will. He's a little senile, but he's still a terrific coach. But if you don't have the fire in the belly and you don't have the motivation, this is a motherfucker. This is a motherfucker. And as Simon said this morning from Singapore, even though he thinks about, it's still, you can't, if you're human, and I'm close to not being human, the most not human that you're going to find, it's still, it's like if you close your eyes and those little things that float by, those little, whatever they are, when you close your eye. No, I think one of them is death once in a while, and one of them is failure. It used to be not hitting $1 trillion, but that's now. So it enters your mind. But it enters my mind like once a month for 100th millionth of a second. It enters your mind every motherfucking day. Every time you pick up the phone, every time you have a face-to-face. That's the difference. And you let it dwell too much because there's not enough positive things going on in your life. You're not doing your affirmations. You're not doing, you're not, when we talk about that tomorrow, you're not doing that stuff. Whenever I used to feel down, I used to, where's the picture? Which wasn't very often, but I used to think of, let's see, where are they? Where's the picture of my 3 kids? Where? Ah, there they were. When I lose focus, and I think of those little 3 kids, But it wasn't very often because I was a hungry motherfucker. I had a chip on my shoulder bigger than this stage. People that have known me all my said I used to walk like this. I had a chip because I didn't go to Ivy League school. I didn't go to MIT. I didn't go to Oxford. I didn't go here. I didn't go there. And I was resentful of it. And when I went back to school after the military and I got straight A's and I was they said I had a brain the size of a planet. I was so fucking smart. How come we didn't figure this out when I was 5 years old? Boy, but when I fired my first Oxford guy, fired my first Cambridge guy, fired my first Stanford guy, then after 15 or 20, I was okay with it. But I certainly wasn't. I mean, I went out of my way to fuck over Ivy League guys. They used to say, the saliva used to start dripping down my mouth when I saw a young MBA from one of the big, I-banks, investment banks like Goldman Sachs. He went to Stanford. I'm going to fuck him right in his mouth within the first 5 minutes, I should tell myself. And I did. But now, I still get a chill talking about it, but I don't do that because I'm a kinder, gentler guy now. But you got to have something to motivate you. Some of you say it's your kids. Some of you said maybe it's, I hope it's not your wife. But some of, you can always get another old lady or another husband. And, but I used to think of the 3 kids. I did. Now the kids don't like to hear that. Why are we there, Daddy? Because you influenced me. And, they'll say under their lips, was it a good influence or bad influence? But Thomas is a terrific guy. Any other questions about Thomas? Okay, who have we not?
I have one question, Mr. Peña.
Okay,
Thomas.
is this one?
Yes.
You mean one for the rest of the seminar?
No.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
For now. In his industry, his growth industry, are the multiples the same as in healthcare, or are they double?
No, they're higher. They're higher. We're buying them lower, but they're higher. But there's probably, this may be an exaggeration, 5 million advertising platforms on the internet. I'm probably exaggerating a little, but not much. And they all started for some good reason, they thought. And that good reason either didn't pan out, or they didn't know how to market it, they didn't, whatever. But they're there. And they have huge networks of clients that they're not utilizing properly, et cetera, et cetera. And what our platform does is it shows them how that we guarantee customers. We guarantee sales. That's how good we are. And we can show you, like he said, when I introduce them to some of our clients, oh yeah, our sales went from X to 5X. So we can show them. So it's not that hard a sale. When he's talking about closing 6 out of 10, he's telling the truth. But our challenge is assimilating all these people now. And I don't like coders, but we're having to write our own code because there's nothing like this. But I mean, we sign up. I mean, I haven't looked at the contract recently, but I mean, we'll triple your sales or not get paid. And that's pretty powerful. And when he's selling it, it's super powerful. He's selling 100%. I'm sure that's what he sold his wife to when he had 5 sons. This will be just the last one, honey, just the last one. We don't have time for any more sons. But I got a feeling the 6th is on the way. Because the guys, whether it's a boy or a girl, is in the sperm, not the vagina. So they can produce either one. And most guys that have sons like that I've known keep trying till they have a daughter. God bless them. Well, he's more interested in this now because I got my foot on his head. But he really wants to change the world with this $10 trillion blockchain economy thing. I'm not interested in that myself. This is part of it. He's going to take the money from this, and he's probably going to cash in for several hundred million, maybe $1 billion to himself. And then he's going to do It's a given. I mean, it's a guarantee almost that he'll walk away with at least $1 billion, probably multiple billions. And then he's going to plow it all in, all the chips in, like that commercial. I tell him, keep half, go in half. And he's going to go all in for the $1 trillion economy. And he'll probably be 40 by that time. He'll be 40. He'll be an old man by then, right? And so I will have exited by that time. So I'm just in for some fun. A little roller coaster time, up and down, and, some fun. Because it's hard to find guys like Thomas. They're firecrackers. I mean, the work around the clock. It is. It's not easy. As you can when he was doing the seminar, I mean, he drove everybody fucking crazy. Why do you only want to make 100 million? Why do you only want to make 50 million? Why do you only want to make 500 million? I mean, he drove the fucking guys nuts. Well, and that's how he thinks. Not dissimilar to me. And when you find people like that, it's not fun, but it makes it more interesting. And I'm privileged to be chairman of a few of those guys. One gal. But almost everybody needs cement up their ass from time to time. I never needed any myself. Yeah, okay, I remember. Okay. We're going to end today with Marcus Bauer, the Mr. Personality who hates you all. So why you waste your time with these fucking pigs? Even though he's from Austria, he's a Nazi. And Hitler came from Austria. So did Arnold Schwarzenegger. But it is, and it's fun to be with some of these kids. Now, I'm still chair of some deals I got involved in a long time ago that we're getting ready to exit. It's not fun. It's like pulling fucking teeth. Because they're already rich. And when they're already rich, and you're 7, 8, 9 years into the deal, and they don't want to exit. They're like milking the company, doing all the shit that I don't stand for. It's the natural human nature to milk the company with your own expenses and live, And I've never done that in my whole life, never. Okay, YouTube.